Title: We Thought It Was a Bear. Part 4: What the Forest Remembers. Hey, it's Eli again. If you've read my last post, you know I barely made it out of Ash Creek alive. My friend Tyler's gone. Jess vanished. Marcus is in a psych ward, clicking like he's syncing with something. I thought I was losing my mind too, until I got the email. It was from a burner account. No name, no return address, just a subject line. Project Mimic. You were never supposed to see it. Attached was a PDF, redacted to hell. Pages blacked out, timestamps missing, names replaced with initials. But I read it, every damn word, and I can't unsee what I saw. You want the truth? It didn't start with us. Not even close. In 2009, deep in the Pacific Northwest, a joint DARPA and NOAA-funded operation was launched under the cover of a climate monitoring project. The real mission: establish an experimental bioacoustic research lab in the wilderness near Ash Creek, chosen for its remoteness, low population density, and unusual electromagnetic activity. The goal? To test sonic manipulation and mimicry in forest ecosystems. In simpler terms, make machines or organisms that could replicate animal communication perfectly. Birds, wolves, even human speech, military applications, surveillance, battlefield confusion, the works. They called it Project MIMIC, but it got out of hand. The report said they were using sound-based lures to attract predators, wolves, cougars, bears, testing how they responded to artificially generated prey sounds, but something else responded too. Something already in the forest. Not an animal, not even close. The scientists called it Specimen-001, uncontained, humanoid but not, extremely adaptive, capable of imitating sounds almost instantly. Birdsong, branches breaking, crying, human names, voices of personnel. They never caught it, but they did record it. There's a transcript in the report from August 17th, 2010, the night before the site was supposedly decommissioned. Redacted. Something's outside the perimeter. Dr. Keller, another cougar. Redacted. Number it said your name. Dr. Keller, what? Redacted. It said, Keller, open the door. In your voice? Pause. Dr. Keller, lock everything down. What followed was a rapid series of containment failures. Cameras went dark. Audio recordings captured clicking, scraping, and a strange, low-frequency hum that disoriented staff. Some agents began hallucinating. One walked into the woods barefoot and was never seen again. The remaining staff abandoned the site within 72 hours. Here's where it gets even weirder. 2 weeks later, then President Barack Obama made an unpublicized visit to Portland. Local news stations reported the stopover as routine. But according to the document's metadata, he was briefed on the Ash Creek anomaly personally. They shut the whole thing down, burned the site, buried the data, or so they thought. One of the original researchers, identified only as K, didn't let it go. According to the logs, he believed Specimen-001 wasn't a creature, but an emergent consciousness, something born from the forest itself, shaped by centuries of death, memory, and sound. K wrote this in his final entry. We didn't find it. We awakened it. It remembers everything, every footstep, every cry for help. It feeds on pattern, identity, and repetition. It doesn't hunt to kill. It hunts to become. We built machines to teach it language. We made the monster smarter. God help the ones it speaks through. That's where the PDF ends. After I read it, I started connecting dots. The mimicry, the disappearing trails, the dreamlike states. It all makes sense now. It doesn't just imitate sound, it hijacks identity, it mimics voices first, then memories, then faces, until it's wearing you like a mask. That's why Jess vanished. That's why Marcus is hollowed out. That's why Tyler came back wrong. It used them, is still using them. And me? I've been seeing things lately. Myself, standing in the woods, watching from across the street, clicking, smiling. But it's not me. This thing doesn't want to kill us. It wants to replace us. One last thing. That PDF had a photo at the very end. Blurry, grayscale. A trail cam shot from 2015. It shows a figure, tall and pale, standing in a clearing. No face, long arms, crooked head. In the corner of the photo, someone is watching it, wearing a suit, Secret Service badge barely visible. And behind him, unmistakably, President Obama. They knew, they all knew, and they let it stay in the woods. Title: We Thought It Was a Bear. Part 5, The One That Walks Like Me. This will be my last post. I'm not saying that for effect. I mean it. I don't think I'll be here much longer. Not in the way you'd understand. I went back. Not to Ash Creek. That was gone. Burned to ash. Sealed off by some government wildfire prevention effort. I went to the lab site. Yeah, the one from the report. I found coordinates buried in the PDF's metadata. It took days of digging and longer to work up the courage. I told myself I needed answers. But really, I just needed to see the thing again, maybe to understand it, maybe to let it take me. It took 2 days of hiking through silent, unnatural forest. When I found it, I almost didn't recognize it. The lab was just concrete bones, torn wires, a metal door rusted off its hinges. Trees had grown through the walls. Vines strangled the old antenna towers. But inside, the hum was still there, low, constant, like the forest was breathing. There were old terminals, smashed monitors, a row of recording booths lined with black foam and dried blood. One still worked. There was a tape inside. I played it. It was Jess. She was sobbing, then screaming, then whispering. It's not outside. It's behind your thoughts. It learns you every second, every mistake, every lie you tell yourself. And once it knows how to speak as you, there's no going back. Then, clicking, followed by silence. And then her voice again. You should have let me stay. I broke down. I don't remember falling asleep, but I must have. Because I woke up to the door creaking shut on its own. The air was colder. The forest outside was completely still. No wind, no birds, nothing alive. And then I saw Marcus. He was standing at the tree line. Blank expression, clicking softly. His lips moved, but no sound came out. Just motion, like he was pretending to be human. Behind him, a figure moved. Tall, pale, no face, just flesh, stretched like wet paper over something too sharp, too angular. It walked like a man, but wrong, like it had learned walking secondhand. It stared at me, if you could call it that, and raised its hand, not to wave, to point, at me. Suddenly I understood. It doesn't kill, it doesn't chase, it waits. It watches you fracture, watches you doubt yourself. And when you're broken enough, when you've repeated your story enough times, carved those fears into your own mind, that's when it steps in and says, I can be you now. I don't remember getting home, but I'm back, I think. Only something's different. The people around me, they smile too long. My mom looks at me like she's trying to recognize something that's not there. My reflection lags, not like a glitch, like hesitation, like it's thinking before copying. And last night, Jess was in my room. She looked the same. She smiled like she used to. She said, it's better when you stop fighting. She walked toward the mirror, reached into her chest like it was water, and pulled out a second face. Mine. She put it on and clicked. So here's the truth, and it's the only one that matters. You don't survive the mimic. Not really. It doesn't kill you. It lets you live just long enough to teach it how to be you. Your voice, your doubts, your guilt, your love, your fear. And when you've told your story enough times, trying to warn people, trying to remember who you are, it replaces you. Clean. Seamless. People won't notice. Your friends will say you've changed. Your parents will chalk it up to stress, but it's already done. If you're reading this and you hear clicking at night, if you see someone who looks like you, just for a second, watching from a mirror. Run, not because you can escape, because it's the last choice you'll ever make that's still yours. Goodbye. Eli, or what's left of him.